right, we're recording. Can you guys see the recording going on now?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, first thing I want to do is I want to kind of lay out what we're going to do. I'm going to be honest. What I'm going to do is I am going to treat this as though we are not coming back. Okay, don't read anything into that. I have no idea. None whatsoever. But what I want to do is we're going to do this, okay? Based on where we're at right now, we're going to test on chapter 12 on the... I forgot to write this down. We're going to test on chapter 12 on the 15th of April. Okay? So what that'll do is that'll give us 1, 2, 3, basically 4 more teaching days. So I'll teach Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then again next Monday. And then we will do what we did last time. And I'll get everybody on at 9. We'll do an hour-long review. We'll take the test from 10 to 12. And we'll be good to go. Does that sound like a plan to everybody?
I have a question about Friday.
About this Friday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we still doing classes about Good Friday?
Are we supposed to be out of school?
There is no school on Friday.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
What's Good Friday?
I believe it's is it Catholic? I don't know. It's a religious thing with the Passover and Easter and all that stuff. Right? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody know?
Yeah, it's a Christian holiday to do with Easter and like Christ's death and stuff.
Alright, so if there's no school Friday, and you're exactly right. So no. So good job. So what that's going to do then is that will push it back to the 17th, which I'm fine with. So test on chapter 12 on the 17th. I don't know who said 15th. We're going to make that the 17th of April. You're welcome. Okay. So, and I don't know who spells April like that.
You apparently.
Was that you, Brecken?
Yes.
Did you get that Chromebook fixed?
Yeah. But the tech guys did something to it and it works now.
Okay. All right. Just checking. All righty. So as I don't know, was that you, Trejo, that corrected me?
No, me.
Who was that? Who brought up Good Friday?
Spirit.
Thank you, by the way. So what we'll do then is I will just go Monday, Wednesday, and then we'll go next Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I basically got 4 days, which is more than typical, but it's technically going to give us 5 teaching days for chapter 12, which means I expect us to all get in the 90s again. No response. Okay. Good job. I guess that's what we're going to shoot for then. So what we're going to do is I want to start off by reviewing where we started last time. Now, is Yuri on here?
Yeah.
Do you still have that picture of that question you sent me?
Yeah, probably.
Will you send that to me?
Yeah.
But I mean, like, text it to me?
Yeah.
So I can just pull it up so we can look at that? Because I think that's wrong.
Yeah, definitely wrong.
I mean, right? I don't think there's any way that answer can be correct, can it?
It was actually Jay's question, but she was asking another guy.
Whose question?
Jay, Harlan.
Jade, you're on here, right? Do you have it? Well, she doesn't have my...
I sent it to you.
Oh, okay. All right. So our objective is still going to be able to properly name any given hydrocarbon. Now, we are going to pick up where we left off the other day. Now, I realize that for some of you that is going to feel like forever ago. Just like some of you when your alarm went off this morning, you literally thought it was the end of the world. So what we're going to do is I want to pull this question up that was had and see if we can figure it out, because I think it is incorrect what they have online. Okay, so this is what this drawing looks like. This is what they've got. Is that correct, you guys? Jade, do you still have your picture of this? No, Jade? No? Alright, now, what we need to do is we need to understand what this is saying and what these mean. Okay? Now, when they do this, like here they've got a branch, okay, that is not a carbon plus a carbon. This carbon is where that line goes, right? So basically I have that plus two more. So if I were to take and get rid of this and draw this as lines, it would look like this and like that maybe, right? So I had that carbon is that carbon, right? That carbon is that carbon, and that carbon is that carbon. Okay? Same thing up here. I've got that carbon's that carbon, and if I just did that, I've got that there, and I've got that there, right? Now this is something where we kind of need to understand what that means, and this is this. That carbon's that carbon, and this CH3 is a carbon there, a carbon there, and a carbon there. Okay? So if I were to find my backbone, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 10 that way. Or I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that way. Okay? So I basically got a 10 one. Do I want to number this from right to left or from left to right?
Right to left.
Right to left, so I want to start here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Why?
Because you want it to branch off.
Exactly, right? And here, if that's my 1, that's my 2, I've got a methyl there and I've got a methyl there, right? Won't they give me a 2,2 dimethyl going on there? Correct? And then here I've got a what? What would this be? It's a propyl, isn't it? Propyl. So it's got 3 methyl ethyl propyl, right? And that would actually be a 6 propyl, wouldn't it? This would be a what?
Ethyl.
Yeah, so I've got a 7 ethyl, right? And then here I had a 2,2 dash dimethyl, right? Does that make sense? And then when I'm done, what's this going to be? What's my backbone going to give me?
Decane.
It's going to give me a decane, right? Now, how do I start putting these together?
Alphabetically.
Alphabetically. Now, what's the one thing I have to remember, though, when I do it alphabetically?
It goes off the root word.
Goes off the root word. Now, any of the monodies do not count. Okay, there are two that do. We're going to get to that in a minute. But for right now, we're going to start out with E comes before M, which comes before P, right?
Yes.
So what I would have is I would have 7-ethyl dash 2,2 dash dimethyl dash 6 dash propyl, and then I just go decane just like that. Huh. And actually, that's exactly what the answer says, isn't it, Yuri?
Yeah.
Huh. That's weird. I didn't even realize that. Whoa. Oh, I think I know what happened. I think the other day when we were talking about this, we thought of this as being a continue of the main branch, but it's not. That looks like a big T. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay.
I think that's what we were thinking. I don't know what I was thinking, though. That was way off. Okay? Now, going back to, I believe Brecken pointed out that the prefixes don't count, right? There are two that do, and they are these. I've got isobutyl and isopropyl. Now, butane, it usually looks like this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Propane usually looks like this, 1, 2, 3. Now, what they do is, if I have like an isobutyl, what that'll do is, instead of it being branched off like from the 1 carbon, it'll be branched off of the 2 carbon. Okay, same thing with isopropyl. You'll have a propane and it'll be branched off the 2 carbon instead of the 1 carbon. So like if I had something that looked like this, let me explain. So let's say I had a nonane here. Is that 9? So I got a 9, right? So if I had this, like if I had this like this, okay, we would not have a name for this, would we? Because I've got 3 carbons here, correct? Because that's not part of my main branch, I wouldn't know how to name this. This would be what is known as isopropyl. Isopropyl because it's branched off of the 2 carbon instead of the 1 carbon. That'd be called isopropyl. If I had this, okay, this would be 1, 2, 3. This is what is called isobutyl. Isobutyl because it's branched off the 2 carbon right there. That's called isobutyl. This way, when they use the term iso right there, they count in the alphabetical world. Alphabetical naming. You know what I'm saying? So in this case, the I would be what I used and not the B. The I would be what I used and not the P, and they would count because these are not the mono, di, tri, the Latin prefixes. Do you understand the difference there? Or no?
Yeah.
Okay. And what these are called, these are actually, they have a name. And these are called constitutional isomers, which I believe we mentioned the other day. and they simply differ in the way the atoms are connected. But I believe I mentioned that the other day. Okay? Alrighty, now from there I wanna go over just a couple more of these, make sure we can name these, okay? So I wanna thank kind of Razy Handy Gamey here, but I like how we did it the other day with you calling out your numbers. Do we all know what I'm talking about from the other day?
Didn't you do that with your math class?
Oh, I didn't do it with you guys?
No.
Okay, so anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to go Razy Handy Gaming, but you're going to give me your numbers. I just want you to yell out your numbers, and if someone yells your number out, then you just go to the next one. And let's go for like 10, because there's like, can anybody see how many of you are on?
76.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay, we're missing, that puts us right at 38 we're missing, which I guess, you know, it is what it is at this point. So, I'm going to write it down, and then I want you to name it, and then just call out your number, and we'll start out simple. Let's start out with 10, and then we'll go from there. Okay, we ready? Now, I'm gonna write these a little differently, and see if we can understand. So I'm going to go. Alrighty, now, this, does anyone remember what this was called? I have the skeletal, and then I have the Lewis. Does anyone remember what this was called?
Condensed.
Yeah, this is the condensed formula, okay? Now, I would treat a condensed just like I treated the skeletal, in that I would go and do what very first? Nobody remembers what we did very first?
Put bone curves.
No. Yeah, find my what? Find my, what do we call that?
Backbone.
Find the backbone. So, let's go. We need to get to 10. So, try that. Try that, and when you get it, yell out a number. Next person just count till we get to 10.
1.
I got a 1.
2. 3. 4. 5.
6. 7.
8. 9. 10.
Am I going to get to 10? 10 should... We get a 10?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay. Who was number 4?
That was me.
Alrighty. So, which way did you start numbering? Left to right, right to left, or where was your number 1 at?
Number 1 was at the very beginning because it branches off first with me.
So you went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's insane, right?
Okay, so is that the longest branch?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, so when I'm done, what do I know this is going to be? I know it's going to be a no-name when I'm done. Okay? So, who is number 3?
That would be me.
Okay, so is that you, Sierra?
Yeah.
Okay, what branch is first?
What?
What branch is first?
Would that be the methyl on carbon 4?
Carbon 4, so I'm going to have, how would I write that?
4-methyl.
4-methyl. Now, why is the methyl before the propyl?
Because it's first alphabetically.
Because M comes before P, right? Okay, so I'm going to go 4-methyl, then what?
6-propyl. 5-propyl, sorry.
Before that?
Oh, it would be the no.
No. So when I go 4-methyl, I've got to go what?
I don't know.
You got to have a dash. 5-propyl. Remember, anytime you are separating or you have a number and a letter, there has to be a dash between them, both before and after. So I'm going to go 4-methyl, dash 5-propyl, and then I'm going to go no name, just like that. That makes sense?
Yeah.
How about the rest of you, the other 70 whatever?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
Alright, let's do another one. Okay, let's do that one. Let's go to 15. There's 70-something of you on here. There's no reason we can't get to 15 of you. Right? Let's go 15 for this one.
One.
Got a 1.
2.
Got a 2.
Three.
Here we go.
4.
Nice.
Seven.
8.
9.
Ten. 11. 12.
13.
We gonna get there? Need 2 more. Uno más. Anybody?
15.
Alrighty, sweet. Alrighty, who's number 9? I don't remember who number 9 was. 'Cause I didn't.
That was me, but I don't think I'm right.
You don't think you're right. Okay, who was number 10?
I was.
When did you start numbering?
From the CH30 above the C.
So you started up here?
Yeah.
So you went 1, 2, 3, then where'd you go?
To the right. To the CH30.
Then you went 4, 5, and 6?
Yeah.
Okay, is she right?
I went the other way because it branches off before if you start, so she has to take that.
So, is that Miller?
Yeah.
Dude, it's kind of weird that I know most of my students' voices.
I think something's wrong, but it's
So you went like this, you went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that?
yeah.
Okay, well let's figure it out. So if you remember the other day, one of the easiest ways to tell is to go a number wherever I branch the lowest, right? So if I go here with the blue, I branch at my 3rd carbon, right? I would branch at my 3rd and my 5, which add up to what?
8.
8. If I go the other way, I branch at my 2 and my 4, which add up to my 6, which is going to be less, right? So I'm going to go with the red one. So what's this branch going to be? It would be a what?
Methyl.
Methyl.
Well, but I want the whole thing. It would be a... Wouldn't this be a 2-methyl? Right?
Oh, yeah.
What would this be?
4-methyl.
4-methyl. So I really have a what going on here?
Dimethyl.
I got a dimethyl, so I would number it 2,4-dimethyl hexane. Just like that. Is that making any sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we do another one?
Heck yeah.
I missed it. What was said? Did somebody ask a question?
Wait, then.
Yes.
So do you not name
Like, do not say what it is if it's part of the backbone.
Yeah, no, that's what this ending thing, that's all the backbone. That tells you what that backbone is. Does that make sense?
So everything before that is just everything that branches.
Exactly. All of this, they are my branches, and then that is my backbone.
So then is it always going to be methyl? Like, I don't get that.
No, it's a methyl because these two branches were methane. But when you branch them, then they become an il.
Okay, and there's two of them.
There's two of them, exactly. So let's do a skeletal one, because I think they're a little easier. So let's say I do this. Okay, so let's say I did that. Okay? So let's do that one. And let's go for 15 again. And I want you to name that. Yeah, let's just name that. And again, we'll count to 15.
One.
Two.
3.
4, 5. 6. 7.
When you become 8.
What was the next number?
9. We're looking for 9. On our way to 15. So you're my 9?
Yes.
Okay. Got a 10, 11.
12.
When do you become 13?
14.
One more? Alrighty. 15. Okay, so who's number 4? Nobody remembers who was number 4? Okay, where did you start numbering this?
Well, you can go either way, right?
Okay, so who is this?
Amber?
Who?
Russell.
Russell, hey! Okay, so Russell brings up a great point. And what you got is if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? Or you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What do you notice there, Russell? That's a good observation.
Either way you go, you're going to get the same number.
Either way I go, I'm going to get the same numbers. So then my question becomes is how do I know which one to choose if the sum is the same? Anybody remember me addressing this the other day?
Was it something about the alphabetical order?
Exactly. Then I go alphabetical. Who is that? Kenna, good job. Now, with that being said then, now I've got to go one step further before I can decide that, right? Well, what is this branch here? What's that? That's going to give me an ethyl. What's this?
Methyl.
And This is another what? Ethyl. In this case, though, notice I will either be a 4,6 or a 4,6, and you actually end up with the exact same thing regardless. So it really doesn't matter. So, who was number 6? I want number 6 to read me what they wrote down. No number 6 out there? How about number 7? Anybody want to take a stab at right and reading what they wrote?
I will. Hello?
Okay, who is that?
Ted.
Who is it?
4,6 dash.
Whoa, you gotta tell, this is Tolman, ain't it?
Yeah, this is Tolman.
Okay, what do you got for me?
I got 4,6 dash diethyl dash 5 dash methyl nonane.
Okay, so listen, you can talk a lot faster than I can write. Okay, so I got 4,6 dash diethyl
Dash 5 dash methyl dash nonane. Not dash, but
No
nonane.
dash.
Tell me you guys are sitting at the same computer.
Me and Brian, no.
You're like sitting in the same room but at different computers?
Yeah, basically.
I just could hear him in the background. What?
He's a yard away from me.
Oh, well, that's alright. Is he right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point to remember is there's not a dash between words. This would actually, and mine looks like there's a space there, but that's going to be all one word. 4,6 dash diethyl dash 5 dash, and that is literally going to be written methylnonane, all one word. Okay? Is that making sense?
Yes.
Alrighty, now, really quick, we need to talk about, there are like 4 of these on the test, and I'm just going to pull this up because I think this is the easiest way to look at it. And this is on page 431, for those of you that, I don't know, might chance to read the book. And I'm going to be honest, so if there was ever a chapter I was going to do it, just because you don't get a chance to face me as much as normal, this would probably be it. But what we need to do is we need to learn about primary, secondary, tertiary, and what is called quaternary carbons. Okay? On all these tell you how many other carbons it is attached to. So if I have a primary carbon, it means it is not attached to any other carbons. Or no, it's attached to one other carbon. So most of our carbons, other than the one that's in methane, are going to be primaries because they're attached to one other carbon. Then you've got, those are kind of the end ones, right? Then I've got a secondary, which is going to be more of a middle carbon. And it is a carbon that is attached to 2 other carbons. Then I've got a tertiary, which is a carbon that is bonded to 3 other carbons. Then I have a quaternary. Quaternary are more uncommon, but, you know, they do happen. And these are when they're bonded to 4 other carbons. So what they're going to do, and I noticed pretty much every question is the same, is they'll do this. They'll come and they'll say, okay, we're going to have this be, like we'll have this be, you know, this will be carbon 1, this will be carbon 2, this will be carbon 3, and this will be carbon 4. And they'll say, okay, what kind of carbon is this one that's labeled number 1? What kind of carbon is it?
Secondary?
Yeah, it's a secondary because it is bonded to 2 other carbons, right? What about this one, though? What about carbon 2 here that's labeled number 2 here?
Tertiary.
Yeah, it's going to be tertiary. And then number 3 is also going to be tertiary because it's bonded to 2 others. And this is going to be primary. Okay? Yeah, was there a question there? Anybody have a question? Nobody? Okay.
I can kind of do, but not about that specifically.
Say that again?
I kind of have a question, but I don't know that it's about what you were just talking about. But
What?
it's about like testing the unit. We've been doing like you see the picture and then you name it on the test. Is there going to be ones where you see the name and you like guess the picture?
That's a really good question. Can you give me like 4 seconds?
One.
Okay, nobody likes a smart ass.
You forgot the Mississippi.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Oh yeah, there you go, yeah. That would be closer. I'm actually looking at the test right now. And name. I mean, there are literally 20 where you have to name them. I mean, I haven't counted it exactly, but there's got to be 20. Yeah, there are a couple asking that. Does that make sense? So what you're saying is, if I wanted to, that's a great question. But before I do that, before I move on to that, any questions on these? How to tell whether it's a primary, a secondary, a tertiary, or a quaternary? Nobody?
Pretty self-explanatory.
Well, yeah, you're right, but someone's going to miss them. And then they're going to come up to me and be all pissed because they missed the easy ones. So, JC, that was you, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty, so let's say I gave you, let's say I did this. Let's say I went 4-ethyl-3-methyl octane. Let's say I gave you that and I wanted you to draw that. Okay, this is what I do. Okay, you watching?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and I'm going to draw out what octane is. Well, I know octane has 8 carbons, which means I'm really only going to draw what though?
Are you asking like how many lines?
Yeah, exactly.
7 lines.
I'm going to draw what?
7 lines.
7 lines, right? So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I must have only drawn 6 lines, so 8, right? Okay, so that's my octane, that's my backbone. Now I'm going to go to my 4th carbon and I'm going to draw a what?
How do you know that it's not numbered right to left?
Where I put the branches. Because remember, it doesn't matter which way I look at it, it's the exact same molecule. Does that make sense? I mean, I could have numbered it the other way, but that would move where my ethyl's at. Like the way I've numbered it, my ethyl has to be right there, right?
Yeah.
And then my methyl has to be right there, correct? If I would have numbered it the other way, that would have made my methyl there and my ethyl there, but it doesn't change the compound. Do you see what I'm saying? Doesn't matter which way I number it.
Yeah, I see.
Okay? So when I'm looking at this, Miller, I am looking at 1, 2, 3. I'm looking straight at 3 of these that are just like that. I mean, just like that. Most of them are the other way. But I know of 3 that I've got to right now, and I'm only on question 20, that are going backwards. So you want to do a couple of these?
No, I think it's pretty easy, especially where it's not you have to find what one to put first or alphabetical stuff. Study there for you.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So should we do another one or not?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let's do this. Okay. So I want to go 1-ethyl. I don't know why I did that. 1 dash ethyl dash 3 dash propyl cyclohexane. Okay, so 1 dash ethyl dash 3 dash propyl cyclohexane. Okay, so who remembers what I would want to draw first here?
The ring.
The ring, right? I would want to draw a what kind of ring?
A
6 carbon ring. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got my hexane, right? And it's a cyclohexane, so it looks like that, correct?
Yeah.
Now, 1 ethyl, 3 propyl. How do I do that?
You got a number?
Okay, so does it matter how I number this?
No.
No, because it's a cyclical structure. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say I did it like that, right? So off of this first carbon here, what am I going to write?
An ethyl?
An ethyl, which means I've got how many lines, technically?
2.
Would that be an ethyl group?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go to 3, and I'm going to do what?
The propyl.
Like that?
Yeah.
Would that then be 1 ethyl, 3 propyl, cyclohexane?
Yeah.
Just like that. Is that making sense, or should we do one more?
Making sense.
Yeah.
Mother, this was your question. You want to see one more?
Good.
What?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
You good? Okay. Alrighty. Now, while we're here, let's do this. Let's say I did this. Let's say I wanted you to identify what kind of carbons I had. What is this? What would carbon 1 be?
Primary.
Primary. What about 2?
Tertiary.
What about 3?
Tertiary.
And what about 4?
Secondary.
Secondary. Okay, and like I said, there are like 4 of those on the test, just like that. Okay? Alrighty, now from there, you know what? Let's stop there. That's a good place to stop. Alrighty, so just a reminder, okay? So we will test on so you say this Friday, so we got 2 days this week. So we're going to test on next Friday, correct? What date's that then?
17.
On next
17.
Friday, 4/17. Kind of plan accordingly. We're going to do the same thing. 10 to 12, that time or never. Is Clancy Gonzalez on here? Clancy, you out there?
She's in the chat. She says yes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
He
Clancy!
doesn't, he says,
His mic's not working?
looks that way.
Okay, I'll just email him then. Alrighty. So yeah, so let's just plan on that. So I'll see you guys again Wednesday at 9?
Hey, Denton.
Yes.
What are we going to do about the lab?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not worried about the labs right now. I don't have an answer. We got through the lab we had to do. They said that we had the lab. What did we do? 13 last? Was that the titration lab?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the lab we got through. I know we were like a week and a half ahead of every other class or every other school. So we were kind of lucky that we got through that. As of right now, I don't know. I would imagine we just won't do them unless we come back. If we come back, we'll have time to do them. If we don't, we won't do them. It is what it is at this point. Okay?
I heard Weir State has an online version though, that you can do all the labs.
They do, but is that you, Trail? Who was that?
No, it's Butler.
Butler?
It was Butler.
I'm going to be honest, Butler, the online version sucks. The guy that used to teach this class before me, that's how they did all their labs. And they were terrible. And that's kind of why he doesn't teach his class anymore, because they just didn't do it justice. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, I would rather not do them than do the online version. That's my personal opinion. But like I said, we'll see. If we come back, we'll do them. If we don't come back, we won't. I don't know. I've got it already set up, so I'm fine if we do. But it just depends. Alrighty?
Alright.
Okay, we'll see you guys Wednesday at 9.
Alright, thank you.
Okay, see you guys.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Sage.
Thank you.
Yep.